Hello, I'm Justin Schmidt, and this is the Channel 3 Action News. Here's what's making headlines. Tensions between the U.S. and Iran are tightening up as the debate over nuclear weapons continues. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton released this statement aimed at Iran. Quote, "If the U.S. extends a defense umbrella over the region, if we do even more to support the military capacity of those in the Gulf, it's unlikely that Iran will be any stronger or safer because they won't be able to intimidate and dominate as they apparently believe they can once they have a nuclear weapon." Clinton went on to say that the option of direct talks between Washington and Tehran would not be indefinite. Meanwhile, over in Iraq, the American military has been turned down on numerous occasions to carry out combat missions in Baghdad. You might remember on June 30th, all American combat troops were required to leave urban areas as part of a security agreement. The Iraqi forces have been taking a more substantial role in military operations, while American forces have been given a limited role in security. Outside of cities, however, American troops are still in complete control over military movement. The deadline for troop withdrawal is set for 2011. Ukrainian officials have announced intentions to join NATO. NATO stands for the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Russia has been an outspoken critic of the idea, while the U.S. is completely supportive of it. When visiting the European country, Vice President Joe Biden made this statement, quote, "We do not recognize anyone else's right to dictate to any other country what alliance it should seek to belong to or what relationships, bilateral relationships, you have." Maine's U.S. Senators Susan Collins and Olympia Snowe have both voiced their support for Judge Sotomayor. They join fellow Republican Senators Richard Lugar of Indiana and Mel Martinez of Florida. Senator Collins stated, quote, "I have concluded that Judge Sotomayor understands the proper role of a judge and is committed to applying the law impartially without bias or favoritism," end quote. The Senate Judiciary Committee voted to push back the confirmation vote 1 week in order to have more time to examine Sotomayor's record. On April 20th, the Obama administration issued a 90-day challenge to his cabinet to cut an estimated $100 million, but so far no report verifying those numbers have been released. White House Press Secretary Robert Gibbs says the specific savings are still being compiled and reviewed and will be released in a few days. In light of recent economic conditions, the state of California is facing a major budget deficit of over $26 billion. That's billion with a B. Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger reached a plan with lawmakers to make over $15 billion in deep cuts to programs and services, with additional reshifting and borrowing to make up the rest, according to the Associated Press. The legislature is yet to approve the plan. United Airlines has delayed implementing a credit card fee for each customer who charges their ticket. Up until now, United Airlines has swallowed the 2 to 3% fee by credit card companies for every transaction. Airline experts say those costs alone add up to millions of dollars each and every year. It is unclear whether the airline giant will indeed implement the fee at the end of the 2-month delay. And that's the way it is. Legendary TV anchor Walter Cronkite passed away on July 17th. At the age of 92, Cronkite had a long and prosperous life. He made a name for himself as the lead anchor of the CBS Evening News back from 1961 to 1981. He will be long remembered as the most trusted man in America at the time. The debate over health care continues as Congress works on a plan prior to their August recess, and President Obama is continuing his media blitz to promote his message. The issue will stay in the headlines for the next few weeks as the deal is being reached. Lawmakers in Augusta will be meeting to start figuring out where to come up with at least $80 million in additional cuts in order to match the declining revenue. Stay tuned to Action News as we bring you the latest from the Capitol. In music news, both Jordin Sparks and Demi Lovato have both released sophomore albums on the same day. Some have labeled this situation the dueling divas, but only time will tell which came out the victor. Your iTunes top 5 song list is as follows. At number 5, Good Girls Go Bad by Cobra Starship. At number 4, up 1 spot from last week, You Belong With Me by Taylor Swift. Number 3, also up 1 spot from last week, Sean Kingston's dance hit Fire Burning. At number 2, Use Somebody by the Kings of Leon. And the Black Eyed Peas' I Got a Feeling remained at number 1. In other entertainment news, the actor who plays Crabbe in the Harry Potter film series has been sentenced to 120 hours of community service. 20-year-old Jamie Waylett was arrested after police found 10 plants of marijuana growing in his mother's home in England. Drug Enforcement Administration investigators searched the office of Michael Jackson's physician, Dr. Conrad Murray. They were looking for any evidence of the offense of manslaughter. So far, Dr. Murray is cooperating with the search. In box office news, the sixth installment of the multi-billion-dollar film franchise Harry Potter kicked off to a magical start. The Half-Blood Prince took the crown on its Wednesday debut with an estimated $58 million, which is the highest Wednesday opening, second only to the recent Transformers sequel. The opening weekend brought in an additional $77 million to round out $158 million in the first 5 days of its release. This weekend at the box office, there are 3 new wide releases: Disney family adventure G-Force, horror film The Orphan, and romantic comedy The Ugly Truth. Harry Potter is poised to retain the box office throne. We have some breaking news to show you this evening. 30 people, including 2 mayors, are arrested in a federal probe of public corruption in New Jersey, prosecutors say. We'll have more on the story as it develops. That wraps up this edition of the Channel 3 Action News. I'm Justin Schnedt, reminding you to become aware with issues of the day and current news of the day, get involved in the community, and watch Biddeford Public Access, your #1 source for news. If you'd like more information on my career path, you can visit my website at www.justinschnedt.com. Have a great day and see you right back here next week.